Let me tell you this, let me tell you right now, your exquisite kiss, still burning, didn't know I missed this passion in life. Now I'm addicted somehow. Let me tell you what is up with your smile? It's impossible, not melting, irresistible. When I look through your eyes, not even sky's the limit. I used to be satisfied, stayed over the surface. Now I just can't get enough. You make me feel good like no other. I just want everyone to see what I've discovered. And when I'm with you, I go higher. You lift me up, now I can see so much farther. You're my rising. You're my rising. I'm a butterfly who has only begun, taking me a while to get it. Had to live and cry to appreciate life, and what you give is worth it. When you're holding me, when you hold me so close, I want further in under your skin. Wanna leave a mark so that I can be sure that you remember what's been. I used to be satisfied, stayed over the surface. Now I just can't get enough. You make me feel good like no other. I just want everyone to see what I've discovered. And when I'm with you, I go higher. You lift me up, now I can see so much farther. You're my rising. You're my rising. And let me tell you what I found. Leaving everything behind, knowing there is more in life that I want. Now I wanna embrace life, you and I side by side, knowing there is more in life that I want. You make me feel good like no other. I just want everyone to see what I've discovered. And when I'm with you, I go higher. You lift me up, now I can see is what I need. Now if you wanna get the best of me, got you smiling, that's for sure. Funny how you had the best of you. I don't know if I'll make it home. I don't know, not like I care. All I know, sound of disco. Only know I want the best of us. So I dance the night away when nobody's awake. Could be the last use in looking back. Gotta laugh or gotta live, 'cause I'm so over the past, and I'm living it fast. Underneath the strobe lights, ready for a crazy night. I can hear your heartbeat banging loud like a drum. Let me be your only one. Do you feel what I feel? I'm addicted to the sound. Turn it loud, just make it play. When the love is all around, dream away with the music. Flying higher than the stars, we'll be dancing till the dawn. The night is young, so are we. So close your eyes and set it free. Underneath the strobe lights, ready for a crazy night. I can hear your heartbeat banging loud like a drum. Let me be your only one. Do you feel what I feel? I'm addicted to the sound. Turn it loud, just make it play. When the love
Welcome to Inner Circle, our monthly live training. So good to see so many new faces. If you're new, put it in the chat. Inner Circle, what's up? Hey everybody, welcome to Inner Circle, our monthly live training. So good to see so many new faces. If you're new, put it in the chat. If you're part of our family, put it in the chat. Welcome the new people. Good to see you here. You know, Inner Circle, before we get started today, we've got an amazing day. Don't go anywhere. Don't shut off your phone if you're watching on it, but shut off the distractions. This is going to be a really powerful hour. Every month, these are designed to give you skills, give you capabilities to close the gap from where you are to where you want to be. And whether you're watching this live, which I'm glad you are, those that are here, or you're watching the replay, this is important. And let me teach you how to learn on this. And I want to get to why Inner Circle. I've been a part of trainings like this for 27 years. In the beginning, I would just get immersed in the training. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Today we have an amazing guest. Oh my God. If you saw this month's course in Mastermind with Emily Ford, oh my God, is it killer? She's back today live. She's going to crush it for you. I'll talk about her and what she's going to share here in a moment. But I want to tell you, when I first started getting involved in this industry and learning from amazing people like Tony Robbins and so many others, I would be a part of like, I like that. I like that. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's not for me. Oh, that one's for me. I was excited, but I wasn't looking for the needle movers. And that's what I want to give you a little nudge today, a little edge today. With pen in hand, hopefully you have a journal in hand, right? Thank you. Hope you have a journal in hand. I want you to take notes as much as you possibly can. You're gonna have some great Q&A today. Take notes because someone else's question will match you. But look for the little things that are actually the big things. Something that'll spark enthusiasm. Something will spark a shift. Something that will overcome an obstacle that's holding you back. See if you can relate to Emily or a question that comes up. And go, that's me. See if you could see yourself in that next phase of your life. If you could overcome that fear, crush imposter syndrome, or gain an actual skill or capability or tactic to move you forward. That's why we do this. So look for the things that you want in today's training, in any Inner Circle training, and all the courses that we put up every single month for you in Mastermind. But simultaneously, sometimes when you're looking for what you want, what you need actually pops up. How cool is that? That's what trainings like this is why Tony and I own mastermind.com. It's why we do a new live training. I've been doing these trainings for about 10 years. And these alone used to be $97 a month. So I'm so glad to have you here and be a part of this community. This is how you stay plugged in. This is the repetition. This is getting back in the gym and reminding you why you're here, why you're meant for more, and how to gain the skills to absolutely get there. And we can do it together. A couple of things before we get started. You're a part of Mastermind, or you wouldn't be here. Make sure to go check out Gigi, your AI assistant. My team gave me these notes. She gets upgraded on a regular basis. She just had a cool upgrade to think better, quicker, faster, to help you go from where you are to where you want to be. The more questions you ask, the smarter she gets. Put it in the chat if you're playing with Gigi. It is off the charts. We use it every single day. The AI has had updates. We have new success tools. We have incredible new Mastermind courses every single month. We have Monday lives inside the Facebook group. And we got some cool bonuses coming that are going to knock your socks off. In the next couple of months, we got Matthew McConaughey coming back on an Inner Circle. We got another guest that's going to blow your mind. We're in final negotiations, doing some cool stuff together. Going to be in Inner Circle. And Inner Circle is a part of Mastermind. You have the library to go back and look at as many of these as you want. Heck, I promise you there's a topic for anything that you're looking to achieve. So make sure you schedule the time to get in Mastermind and utilize these tools. If you haven't been there in a while, get back. I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time. I don't take it lightly that you're giving us an hour of your time. So we plan on over-delivering in a really huge way. So, Inner Circle family, you ready for a good day? Because I am. I'll be watching. I'll be taking notes like crazy. So I already kind of spoiled it. We got Emily Ford. I see she's standing by live right now, virtual. Would love to have her here. She came here to film just for you guys in the course. If you didn't see her course inside Mastermind, oh my God. You have to see it. Today, let me just share who Emily is. Before I read her cool stuff. Who's Emily? I did an interview with her maybe 2 years ago. And you know when you just meet someone that you know she's got it. Like, she doesn't just have the energy, which she does. She doesn't just have a kind soul, a giving, service-oriented way about herself. And you could feel how much she cares. But you could just tell when someone's super smart. They overcame the obstacles. They made it happen. And now she's doing so many incredible things. And that's why we wanted her to come share with you. She is... she is entrepreneur. Oh my God, I looked at the wrong paragraph. She's an entrepreneur, a podcaster, a brand expert, and so much more. She's here to answer your top questions that you guys ask. That's what I love about today. Questions on the entrepreneurial mindset, personal and professional, branding, and more. It's going to be so exciting. You guys ready? Can we start giving Emily, can we give a little drum roll here? Give a little drum roll for Emily. Also, Allie from our team is going to be here to help moderate the questions, to ask, to go back and forth. Let's get our pens out. Let's get ready. And let's please give a warm Inner Circle Mastermind welcome to Emily Ford.
Amazing. Thank you, Dean. Hello, everyone. What is up? I would love to see in the chat one thing. What is one thing today you are grateful for right here, right now? And let me bring on Allie. Where's Allie at? Because I am not running this show.
What is up? Welcome, Emily. Hey, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, and a special thank you for Dean for setting the stage for us. Today is so extra special. One, because we get to be here with you, Emily, but it's also kind of like we got a little girl power going on for Inner Circle today. So again, I'm Allie from the Mastermind team, and after diving into everybody's questions from the Facebook group, we've kind of compiled this fun list for you all. And today is going to be super casual, right, and very conversational. Emily, I know you call this Real Talk. So it's like Real Talk hour on the entrepreneurial mindset. And so before I dive into the frequently asked questions from our community, I'd love to know from you, what is entrepreneurial mindset and how does that apply to everybody here, whether they identify as an entrepreneur or if they don't?
So good. Well, I believe no matter what level you're at in life, whether you own a company, you want to own a company, you have a side hustle, having an entrepreneurial mindset is truly all about taking ownership and owning your life, which is so cool because Dean has a podcast all about owning your life. And it's really having a mindset of no blaming, no complaining, no justifying, and having an attitude of gratitude, which is how we started this call, and having the attitude of no matter what, it's up to me to make my dreams come true. It's up to me to create a positive, healthy environment. And it's really a mindset. And, it's easier said than done. Some days it's really difficult. Some days it's really easy. But I will tell you, I made this switch in my personal life over a decade ago, and it has changed everything for me, my energy, my vitality, and also my wealth, and ultimately my impact.
So great, so great. So I think all of us can kind of resonate there, and the way they explained it too, there's so many baby steps that you can take to start to adopt that entrepreneurial mindset too, and you really go into your brand, like you said, you are more than just your job or more than just your business, and you really go into that in our Mastermind Original course too. You are the brand. So anybody who hasn't checked it out that's on this call right now and you want more Emily after this, which I know that you're going to, definitely you all have access to that, so I definitely recommend for you to check it out. And without further ado, I'd love to dive into some of those questions that were asked, Emily. And of course, for everybody that's on this today, I'm live, I'm with you, I'm here to represent you in this conversation too. So we have the chat feature for you all, so go ahead and write in any questions that you have along the way, and we would love to bring that into the conversation. So to kick things off, I've got my list of questions right here. The first question is, I would love to know more about incorporating this entrepreneurial mindset when I'm an employee inside of the organization. how can I use it to bring more value inside of my current company?
So good. Oh, we took care of the echo. Do we? Yes. Amazing. Okay. So no matter what, like even right now, I have a team of people and a lot of them, like they don't just work for me. They're supporting my goals and my dreams, whether it's my podcast producer, my executive assistant, my community manager, but they also have other endeavors and I fully support that. And so when they're here, they're all in for our mission, but I also recommend that they continue to get development and continue to build their things, their personal brands on the side. And so, it always just depends on where you work and what the environment is like. But this is why I created You Are the Brand. And this is why I just believe so much, no matter what you do, even if you love your career, that you should be building something for yourself. You should be building your digital footprint. Whether you want to take it in a way where you become somebody who teaches and trains things like myself, or you're using it in a different way, like the guy that brought my furniture to my house yesterday, because I just moved, where he's building his furniture company, right? And so again, it's imperative in 2023 that you build your personal brand. And if you're working a job or someone else, that you honor the time that you're working in that job for whatever it is that you're doing. You give it all. Even if your job is funding your escape right now and it's not something you want to do full time, I recommend that you still give it all to that career path, but then be sure those extra hours in the day that you're building something of your own.
Yeah, absolutely. And bringing that value, your online presence to support the company, if that's your dream, is that you want to excel inside of this company, really working to support that using your online brand as well. Is that what you would recommend?
Yeah, absolutely. And have fun while doing it. Like, I truly believe that life is a gift, and that the energy that you bring is just a ripple effect. And so even if you're doing certain gigs or side things that you're not that into, well, it's still paying your bills and giving you a wealth of experience. Just another example to that would be some of my staff that eventually one of them wants to have like a clothing company, but she's joyfully serving me right now while she learns entrepreneurial mindset and just the ins and outs, and serves me in my mission.
Absolutely. And there's this beautiful question that Lynn from our community asked too, which is, what do you do when the entrepreneurial mindset has escaped you during difficult times? Which I know has that happened to you, Emily?
Oh, never. I'm perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And this is hashtag life. Like, who in the chat right now is going through something or feeling something? Is anybody? Type a 1 if you're feeling something. Okay. All you have to do is turn on the news and we're all feeling something. And so what I have learned as an entrepreneur is to really protect the gates of my mind, and to do something every day that gives me a tremendous amount of bliss. And for me, like this morning, I woke up, and I live in Orange County. I live in Southern California. And, this was my goal, was to live I'm staring at the Pacific Ocean right now. I'm from the Arctic tundra of Minnesota. Okay. But what I did this morning is I reconnected. And for me, it's with God. I reconnected and I came back to that state of gratitude. And I'm like, what am I going to create today? What am I going to do today? I'm still healing from things. I'm still transitioning from old ways, right? But it's really focusing on what I have and what am I going to do today? What's the one thing I'm going to do today that's going to move my life and business forward? What's the thing today that I'm most excited for? What do I need to create today for the digital space? And just focusing on that, But then allowing, periods and giving yourself grace if you are going through a breakup, a transition, if you are, maybe in these economic times, scaling back, shifting, starting something new. Like there's periods that we all go through of shedding, of healing. And what I have learned is it's not always time that heals all wounds. It's what we actually deal with and confront that heals. And so I really recommend it to give yourself that grace and to seek out healing. For me, it's going to a faith-based church every Sunday, and that's how I refill and recommit to my God-given vision and purpose. Whatever it is for you, though, you just have to have the discipline to stay connected to that. And again, cry if you need to cry and have a moment, but get back up right away. And don't let, what I find when I mentor people is they'll let a bad day turn into a bad week, turn into a bad month, turn into a bad quarter, and turn it into a bad year. It just takes them out. And so you have to find that resilience and feel it, deal with it, and then move on.
Yeah. And I know that you speak a lot about, your brand and how that transfers to the digital world that we're living in, right? And so when you are in this kind of messy middle and you're dealing with a difficult situation, how do you share that online? Do you pull back from that? Or what's your philosophy when it comes to sharing those things online?
Yeah. When you're in the thick of it, you're trying to process. And so, for me, like, it's such a responsibility having people follow. And, I don't take that lightly. And I've treated that way even when I had no following. And so what I mean by that is like, if I'm in the thick of something, I'm not going to post about it, talk about it. I'll maybe allude like, I'm going through a rough week, right? But not in the middle of it. Because here's the thing, it's raw. We have to heal. We have to learn. However, if something has been on my heart, like something in the news, I'll share once I've processed it or to bring awareness or something like that. Whatever you put out, you're going to get back. Right. So if you're drama, you're going to get all that back and then some. So that's just my 2 cents on that. And, I don't like to talk. I don't do drama. I think it's a low frequency energy, emotion. I'm here to serve. And so when it comes to your brand, you really have to think about like, what's the motive? Okay. And God knows the motives of your heart. But I think even taking it, pen to paper and saying, what's the motive of me doing this? And if social feels really sticky, clunky, low energy, then search the motive of your heart. For me, it's to help people. It's to help that woman who's motivated, but she's feeling confused. And I need to like spank her on the butt. I need to give her a hug and tell her she can do it. And that's what motivates me to create that content. So when I go to post, if it's not going to help her, I don't post it most of the time.
Right. So being really intentional with what you're sharing doesn't mean you have to lose that authenticity, but it also means that you're not coming from a place of, I love that you said drama, right? We're not attracting the drama, and I hope everybody here, as you have your journal and you have your pen, you're taking notes. I know you said like, what is the one thing that we can do today to move the needle forward? What is the motive that we can focus on? So there's so many gems that you're already sharing, Emily. And I'd love to go through to this next question too, which I think is totally aligned with that. So let's say you know the steps that you have to take to succeed, but something is stopping you. How can you acknowledge and overcome those mental blocks that are preventing you from taking uncomfortable action? And Emily, I'd love to share just from our community a couple different examples, which maybe some of you will resonate with. So Janelyn asked, why do I always procrastinate when I know I should share it on social media? And then we also have Linda who asked, why am I afraid to pick up the phone and call women who need my help to fuel her business? She said that she's been working on that for years, and it's the one thing that's holding her back is that action. Do you have any advice there?
Oh my God.
You're so excited. I see you on the edge of your seat.
Because I can so relate. So just to back up the bus here, like I used to be a nanny, a massage therapist, competed in fitness. I did 1,000 things. And then I got into entrepreneurship and I really wanted to build my dreams. Type of one if you want to build your dreams. Like, but my dreams like was in sales, and not sales, but like that was going to be the thing that built my dreams. And so I came from a single mom, no money, my money mindset. Like I had to go to work on that. Am I self-worth? All the above. And so when I became an entrepreneur, I was like, oh my gosh, no one is coming to save me. And like, no one's coming over being like, hey, did you do your calls today? And like, I had to make that happen. And so what I realized about myself is I always avoided the hard things. I wanted to organize my pen drawer and make my vision board, but I didn't want to actually do the thing that was going to create the change. And so I started to schedule in the hard things first. And I play games with myself. And still to this day, I play games with myself where I cannot go to dinner tonight, at the Waldorf over here with friends until I get X amount done. Even when I was flat broke and I was sleeping on a mattress on the floor, I said, I can't even go on a walk until I get these calls done. And so I schedule the hard things first. And so for some of you, that might be making those sales calls. That might be scheduling a content day, which I, provided a lot for you with my content batching blueprint. What I do once a month is I shoot a bunch of content so it's in reserves in my Dropbox so I can pull it out when I'm not feeling it or I don't have the time to do it. And here's the deal, and I'll go, our MLK, like I go back to Martin Luther King, like about seeing the whole staircase, that's what happens to a lot of us visionaries. We see it, but really the reality is you just got to take that one step, one post, one call, and that momentum creates more momentum, creates more momentum, creates more momentum. And you start to raise your frequency because you're congruent with what you really want in life. Whereas if you don't do it, that inaction is a downward spiral and it actually makes you have no energy. And so on the other side of that call, even if you get a no, you're going to start to create more energy for yourself, which is a ripple effect. And, once you catch that fire, you cannot be stopped.
Yeah, absolutely. Gosh, I mean, this is such a weird thing to relate it to, but I had a tree fall on my house and that made us have to get rid of the tree, right? And then once you remove the tree, then you're like, oh, then we could do this and then the backyard. And now all of a sudden we have this huge project, and that is the power of momentum. Like it really applies all across. And so really not waiting for the tree to fall onto your house, but figuring out ahead of time, what can I do and where can be my starting ground? Because once you start, that momentum really gets kicking, and I love that advice. And from your advice too, when you're having a hard time even getting this momentum, I saw Miss Steele put in the chat, like, I love grabbing information, I love learning, but putting it into action. How would you recommend that first step of action? Is there somebody that they should go to hold them accountable, or do you have any advice to share there?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple different things you can do. So here's the thing, you can collect ideas, data, all of it. And like, just to give you a couple examples, I have like the saved folder on Instagram of ideas where like, I'm not going to like copy that the same exact thing, but it's an idea. I have a Pinterest board of ideas. I have in my note section on my iPhone is ideas of content, a podcast I could do. It's all ideas of the book I'm writing. It's chapter ideas, right? So I have my idea bank, but then there comes taking action. And that's really where, I also recommend to have a friend or two, and you've met so many people in this beautiful community. I'm sure some of you even live by each other. That when I was flat broke and started to build my dreams, and I literally was so afraid half the time, okay, I found a woman in Minneapolis, Minnesota, who was also building her dreams, and she actually got let go. It was in the mortgage crisis in 2010. So she was like, no job. Okay. And so both of us were like, on a pretty slim budget. But what we would do is we would walk together. We would go to the coffee shop together, and I would be like, what are you doing? And she'd be like, what are you doing? And we held each other accountable. We're both millionaires now, and then some, by the way, but we found each other because we both were honest about the kind of relationship we wanted to have. We wanted to have accountability, that we wouldn't let each other down. She's 10 years older than me. There's no reason why we even should have been friends. I was like a fitness chick. She was a mortgage girl. Like, we were so not even the same. But the truth is, we were so the same because we both wanted to create our own dream life. And so we found each other and we said, okay, if it's not working on our health, because we would work out together at Lifetime Fitness, if it's not building our empire or building our spiritual mindset, then we're not going to have anything to do with it. And we were on this mission together. So that accountability is huge. I just recommend like finding people that you can jam with, and it makes the road a lot less lonelier. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, that is what's so epic about this community is I see so many people, by the way, I can see all of your faces, so beautiful. So give me a raise of hands if you've met somebody inside of this community or if you have an accountability partner. And if you haven't raised your hand, that's totally okay too, because the great thing is that we have this space you can make those connections. So whether it's in the Zoom chat saying, you know, I want to focus on this, finding each other inside of the Facebook group, there's so many different ways that you can lean on each other and grow together, and then, you know, be like Emily here later and be like, now we're both millionaires. It's casual, but growing together makes it more fun and gives you that accountability too, which is so great. And I do want to address a question came through the chat from Carol. And she's asking, how do I stay on brand and share online when there's a lot going on in the world, right? This is a shifting world. There's so much happening from a worldview standpoint. And I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but do you have any advice for somebody who's like, should I not share? Should I share? What should I do when it comes to, you know, politics and different things like that?
Oh my gosh, yes, this is so good. And you know, I learned this long ago because guess what? There's always going to be things going on in the world. There's always opinions. There's always this, that. And, you know, you can either be a consumer or you can be a creator, but both cannot coexist. And who's ever creating is winning. Who's ever consuming is losing. That's typically how it goes. That's why I only follow a few select accounts or even consume them. Okay. And so what I would say is that you've got to have the discipline to be so mindful of what you're consuming. And then you've got to have 80% of actually creating. The minute that I shifted and I started to be a creator and put more content out and started to, you know, make more opportunities happen and not flood my mind with all the stuff going on out there, that's when I started to have opportunities open up. My mental mindset was just so much better, all of the above. And so, you know, again, like it does come back to discipline. You can scroll all day, you can go look at all these videos all day, or you can create, and the choice is yours. And if you find yourself, like, this very easily happens, we find ourselves like going down the rabbit hole, and then a whole day went by where you didn't do anything to grow your brand or your business or what have you. And that, if you're not careful, like I said, that turns into the week, and now you're just like not building anything significant. And so it's not to not acknowledge what's happening. You know, I still believe, and I share things and I acknowledge, and I did like a whole prayer thing when everything recently happened, and absolutely, but don't let it overtake your whole business. And people, you know, whatever solution you provide, people still need it, hopefully. Otherwise, I don't know if you should be selling it.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that, because I know a lot of us here are thinking that and feeling that. And it's such a good point. There's consuming, and then there's creating, and then there's the risk of being consumed by everything that's online too. So such a great point. And I'd love to talk a little bit more. I know we touched a little bit about creating that personal brand for yourself and then what it looks like to provide that value into your current business. But let's say your personal brand does not align with your career goals. For instance, someone who's more free-spirited in their personal life, but their profession is more corporate. How do you combine or separate those two different things?
Yeah, here's the thing. You get to decide.
Yeah.
Literally, you get to decide what you put out in your brand and what you don't put out. So there's some people I mentor that, they showcase working at Target Corp and building their photography business and being a mom of three and all the things. But then there's some people that, like one lady I mentor, she's been in like the alcohol sales industry for a long time. And she's like, that's my job. I don't want to do it anymore. This is what I really want to do. And she wants to like build it in the network marketing profession. And I said, well, then don't showcase that if that's not what you want. And so that's a real personal thing. And when I shared with you my content batching blueprint, I had you do, and if you have not yet, your pillars. So picking your pillars of the things that you want to showcase, you just decide, do I want my job to be in it or not? I think though, and I believe this to be true, straight up, is that you should show, like, especially if you're in the beginning stages, the build of your company. That is something that I have done just because I'm such a real honest person, sometimes even to a fault where people are like, wow, you show a lot. But I show a lot because it's the truth. And I don't like to like live in secrets. And so, for example, when I started my new company, I downsized, I moved, all the things, and I showcased the real build. When I started my first company, it didn't look hot. It didn't look appealing. I mean, it was just hard work. I didn't buy things for 2 years. It was just like meetings and meetings and building and build it. Like literally, it was not an Instagram lifestyle, but that actually made more people follow me, trust me, want to join me because I showed the real build of what I was doing. I showed me like sleeping on a mattress on the floor, doing my gratitude journal. When, I was going to the consignment store to buy business suits because I didn't have money to go to Neiman Marcus to buy my stuff. Like that is what made me have partners join me because they're like, wow, she's on a mission. She's serious about what she's doing. And people want to do business with people that are serious. And so I recommend at whatever level you're at, show us the process, show us the unveiling, show us the build of the house, if you will, because that'll really make people buy in to what you're doing. It's the law of the buy-in.
Yeah, and that really goes in alignment with momentum too, because as you're sharing that stuff, it must motivate you but they're going to see my journey. They're going to see my successes. They're going to see my raw beginning, but they're also going to see me climb and know, just like you said, I'm serious and really have that faith and trust in you too, which is so great. And Guillermo from the chat also said too, he said, where do I get the PDF? Where do I get the roadmap? So inside of your course, You Are the Brand in Mastermind, you actually include in the training all the pillars, how to narrow down your pillars and share that online, and then also a nice little PDF to go along with it too. So anybody that's looking for that, I just wanted to put that out there. And then Emily, I know that we're talking about sharing something different from your business, right? Creating that personal brand. But one of the questions came through like, I'm a nurse. If I start to share, let's say, for example, my shoe collection and my love for, rating heels depending on their comfort level. This is not what she said. These are my words. But something a little bit more fun like that. Does that ruin the credibility of her as a nurse in that business?
No, it makes you human. And there's so many facets to all of us. And I believe like the more you share what you're into, the more you're going to actually want to do social media. And they're all of us. I could take every single one of you, Alexandra, Pauline, Angela, there's more to you than your job. There's passions. There's things that light your soul on fire. There, you could be the best organizer and I need a little help. How do I do my pantry? I don't know how to fold a fitted sheet. Okay, please help. Someone send me a video. Like, I could be trying, I remember my dog, Hugo, he's a little boy, and I moved into the new house and it was like, oh my gosh, he's peeing on things. And I'm like, he's potty trained. And, I was like, someone help. And I had potty trained dog people come in every which way. And why do I share all this with you is to let you know, like, you're multifaceted and you need to show that. And I think, there's a time and a place for like a niche account, but I mentor a lot of different companies and they're getting no traction by just showing like a makeup company with a makeup brush. They're not having any interaction. Well, it's boring. Okay. So think of like reality TV shows. And yes, I do. I don't want you to be a reality TV, like, you know what I mean? We won't need all that drama, but think a bit of why you actually watch that stuff because it's entertaining. And some of you or most of you don't realize how entertaining your life actually is. If you would just stop 5 times a day and just share it on your stories or something like that, that will really help you with like engaging an audience. And again, you might think going to childhood pickup line is not fun at all. Well, you can talk about, the day you had in the car or like where you guys are going after childhood pickup. Like these things seem so normal and they are, but there's ways that you can bring people into your life and they actually feel like they're on a journey with you. And that's what builds that personal brand.
So cool. And Christopher in the chat says he can show you how to fold a fitted sheet. So we've got that going for us. But so great. And on that note too, Whitney from our community asked, and I think you'll be really good at sharing here too, if you've already established your brand and then you decide that you want to do something different and you want to switch gears to maybe something entirely different, how do you go about that?
Oh, girlfriend, I love this. Okay, let me just tell all of you, your transformation is your greatest brand strategy ever. Like a brand that stays stagnant, it's just not enticing. But the one that evolves and changes, that's awesome. And so I'll just give you an example. Like my first company is in the health and wellness field. Today I have a press release coming out that I'm founding another beauty company. They're completely different companies. It doesn't matter because I'm the brand. You're the brand. And so if you're going to make a dramatic shift, then I recommend doing a rebrand, whether that's with like colors, logos, even your feel, right? Like I moved into a new home because my stuff had been in storage and this is very earth tones. My other house was like black, dark, whatever. There's a shift in my brand and I will start to showcase that. But what I would say is, and I coach everybody to do this, and some of you did a really good job on this. You tagged me and Dean and Tony, but doing like a catching up post, like things have shifted. Hey, it's been a minute. I believe the point of social media is to get to know each other and to be transparent. Here's 10 things you don't know about me. Or maybe, you just come out and say, a huge passion of mine has been photography. I've always done it on the side for free. And now I'm about to go pro with it as a professional. That's a shift I actually made from a speaking career because I did it for free for so long. And now I'm a professional speaker. So again, it's just you having that confidence and putting it out there. And, it's like whatever we put out, that's the perception. And so you get to decide. And at any time you can be like, this is what I'm going to do now. And maybe you're someone that's listening and you're like, I want to start linking my clothes or linking Amazon or linking affiliates. You just decide and you just go on and say, you know what? For years, people asked me where I got my clothes. I've never even told people, but I'm going to start linking it now because I realize so many people want this from me, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, one of the key things that I'm taking from you, Emily, too, is that it's all about the journey. It's all about those changes from the very beginning to the brand shift to all of a sudden sharing. I'm in the line picking up my kids, and we had a great friend over here, Carrie, in the chat says, what if you work from home and you're an empty nester? Not much content to share about. I'm sure there are so many people, and I'd love to hear from you any thoughts you have here, Emily, that are also empty nesters, that you can kind of have this relatability as you start to share too and build your audience in that way.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I don't have kids. I have a dog. So I'm like, whatever. I don't have the nest. But like, the truth is that every single person, whether you're single, married, divorced, empty nest, you have a baby right now on your lap, it don't matter. I want you to search of what's the things that you like to talk about. What are the things that you're an expert in? Okay. And what are your passions? And this is why that content strategy guide is so key for you to sit down and say, what do I like to talk about? Maybe you were a teacher in your past, or maybe, you just have different skill sets that you could teach somebody else. And so you journal all that out. Just to give you a random example, something that I've learned through the years of healing, deep healing. I grew up in a very traumatic upbringing. I'm very passionate about teaching about healing and teaching about like a healthy love, healthy relationships as a powerful female, allowing love in, what I had to go through for that. And I'm giving you just a random example right now because that happened through experience, right? I learned how to allow love, how to accept love through having a healthy partner who showed me love. And you may be thinking, why is this your personal brand? Well, because when you go on this process and you learn these things, you learn, you do, meaning you live, and then you can teach it. Learn, do, teach. Learn, do, teach. And that's all I've ever done. I learn, I do it, I live it, I embody it, and then I teach it. And so no matter what area of your life you're at, I promise you, you have stuff to post. You could even like teach me about plants. That's another thing. Okay, you could teach me. Okay, like anything, even like my Trader Joe's flowers that last forever instead of my really expensive ones. I posted about that. People love that stuff. Don't overcomplicate this.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Learn, do, teach. That was it, right? Learn, do, teach.
Yes, Ellie.
So good. And, I think that's what you're talking about too, is that you are uniquely you. So I used the nurse example earlier, and there might be some of us that are nurses out there, but it's the hobbies and the passions and the things that you do that become your pillars of the things that you share that makes you not just a nurse, but makes you you and you the brand. I have another question for you from Michelle, and she asked, unrelated to business, unrelated business. So she has a business going on and she wants to launch another one in a year or two. Do I make them completely separate name and branding, or do I brand myself as Michelle and have two separate and completely different business ideas?
Mm-hmm. I think no matter what, you should have your personal brand. And because people follow people, and even in today's day, like millennials and younger, they want to know who's the founder of the company, who am I buying from, what's their message, are they environmental friendly? Like there's just the buying trends have shifted a lot. And so I recommend to have your personal brand and show your products, what you're about through that personal brand. Now, I'm a good example of that. I mean, I launched a perfume last month. I have a lot of different things going on, and I could have individual pages, and eventually for some, I could and probably will, but right now it's all under It's Emily. And, sometimes another page can be a lot to keep up with. And if it's not consistent, it's just not worth it. And so I recommend having it under one personal brand. And another example I could give you is I mentor a lot of a couple very successful businessmen that have bought and sold very successful companies, and they never built their personal brand. And now in their career, they're like, I wish I would have, because nobody knows who I am. I want to be I want to do a podcast. I want to teach, but no one knows who they are, even though they're wildly successful, because they only built companies. Not they only, that's very amazing. And so that's why I just recommend to have your personal brand going no matter what. And when it comes to the other pages, again, like I was going to do that for my podcast, and then it's like everyone just keeps coming back to my page anyways. So I just kept it under one house.
Got it. And Cameron in the chat asked too, when you say personal brand, you're talking about you, like you're talking about your name. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
Great. And nobody has asked this in the chat, but I know y'all are thinking it, right? So what about if you are maybe a little nervous or a little scared to go on video to say, you know, my name is my brand? Do you have any advice for those who are out there thinking it but not saying it?
Yeah. So here's the thing. Video is real. Like the minute you start to do video, you're going to just transform, whether it's, you know, video, like, so just to give an example, this is a way that you can create content that's really well. It's called SOC content, strategic organic content. So right now, Allie's asking me questions with all of you, and I have my handy dandy wand from Amazon. Okay. This wand can go in my bag, and I'm recording our call. And what I'm going to do is take pieces of this and create reels from it. If you struggle with what to say and how to say it, literally phone a friend, have questions, have them talk to you on an interview, and then just record yourself, and you'll start to get content that way. So I always have my wand with me, always. It's like I don't always have people videoing me, I'm videoing myself. So that's a great way to create content. And listen, I know you're scared. I still, when I'm backstage, like I just did an event in front of like 3,000 people speaking, a keynote, my stomach still drops. My armpits still sweat. Okay. It just happens. But the truth is, if your mission is great enough, you'll do it. And what I think about is this, and this is how I can help you reframe it. I think how selfish I am being if I'm quiet. If I'm hiding, I'm being so selfish, because I got to get over myself, and I got to do this to help this other person. And so a way that I trick my brain, but also activate my heart is by saying, okay, I'm going to go live because there might be one person that I can help today. Or I can stay selfish and keep to myself and not help anybody. And so again, it's just like making that call, making that post. You just do it, and it creates that momentum, and it does get easier over time. But I would recommend doing the SOC content way at first if you feel like, I just don't know how to sit and talk to a camera.
Yeah. Oof, I love that. Raise your hands. Like, how great was that? That's such a unique way of sharing and capturing different things too. And I know Dean said it at the very beginning, but you're a very intelligent girl, Miss Emily. So that was such a big win. Thank you so much for sharing that. And kind of circling back to these questions, we have Alexandru, which is a beautiful name, by the way, has a lot of experience as a professional musician and also the professional world as a creative director, branding, and he wants to find his niche without combining the two. So do you have any advice for somebody that might want to keep those two things separate?
Yeah. I mean, well, first of all, I think these two are so cool. And I would ask, like, if you want to keep them separate, like you obviously just need separate pages for that. But like what I would do, okay, because here's the thing. Someone looks at a producer, someone looks at someone like this, and some of the content is it can be very me-centric, right? And so what I mean by that is I would look at a producer brain, and you know so much, you have so many tips, tricks that you can teach everyday people on content, on producing, on things to look for. And so every time I create content, I'm thinking, how is this going to either inspire someone, educate someone, humor someone, like, or entertain. And if it's not one of those things, it's not going to be content that even does well or performs well. And so I would look at, when it comes to showcasing what you do, how can you make that great content to inspire, educate, entertain, or even humor? But I get I understand you want to keep them separate, but I think your personal brand, you sound like a really cool person. I would actually want to like see all that stuff in one. And like one, if you look at the content batching blueprint, one of the days you could talk about producing, the other days you could talk about music, and it gives you content for like a whole week. Just saying.
So good. And Miss Steele just put it in the chat too. I don't know which platform to use. There's so many. Which is the best one? Or is it just whichever one you have the most fun with? Like, what would you recommend?
Yeah, it's so it's, yes, the most fun, but where do you have like a little bit of traction right now? So when I started, I had 900 Facebook friends, no Instagram. Okay. So I went to Facebook, and I quickly realized, because I needed to sell products. I was like, how am I going to sell products? And so I realized, I started to post, and I was like, nobody cares about my protein shakes. So I need to add value. And so I quickly changed my content strategy, and that's where I started to build some momentum by not just selling. In fact, it's the opposite. I add value, sell, value, right? But when it comes to where to go, I would say, where do you already have a good platform? For me, like, I can do the same thing on Facebook as I do Instagram. So that's easy. LinkedIn is pretty hot right now. Like, I'm loving having stuff on LinkedIn that's more like professional as well. Obviously, you got the TikTok going on, but it's wherever you feel most comfortable. If you already have an audience somewhere, I would definitely use the audience that you already have. And the truth is this, guys, you just have to be consistent. Like when I started my podcast during the pandemic, it was just like, okay, is this worth it? Like, should I keep doing this? And I mean, now it's like turned into a full-blown show. But before, when I was just recording at home, I had to commit to every Wednesday I'm dropping an episode. No matter how I feel, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it done, because people need consistency. So that's it. It's the consistent factor. If you can't be consistent with it, like, think again. So start out small, and then, even post 4 days a week instead of 7. I don't even post 7 on my wall. So I could go on and on and on about this.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure. And, I really value your hour with us too, Emily. So I want to leave you with one last question and take us back. You have 900 friends on Facebook when you're just starting out. If you had one piece of advice to give little Emily back then, what would that one piece of advice be?
Wow, Allie. Well, I would say, like, the advice would be to be me sooner. And I think that took like growing up, and when things shifted for me, it was when I just got radically authentic. And it's like, I'm not doing this for man. I'm not doing this to please the world. I'm doing it to please, for me, God. And I'm doing it to really serve. And when I switched that energy, it brings me to tears, Allie, because when I switched that energy, it's like everything got more fun. It got more light. And I actually started to create that change that I wanted to see, because it wasn't so me-centric. And I think that's the secret right there, is like, we don't do it just for ourselves. We do it to serve another human. And like, that servitude, that mindset will set you free from the trap. Because when you feel small, it's because you're just so focused on self promotion, self this, self that. So if you turn the selfie stick around and you do it for people, and you do it to help and serve another human, there's just a frequency to it that is indescribable. And I wish I would have known that earlier. I think I just had to grow up. I just wanted to prove myself in the beginning, and it just, motives matter, and my motives shifted a lot as I shifted as a woman, and that's what's up. So
beautiful. Thank you. I mean, such a servant heart, but don't take yourself so seriously. We weren't born to be so serious. We're born to be authentic, to serve. And in the words of Emily Ford, everybody, be you sooner. So thank you so much. Everyone give it up for Emily. Thanks for being here with us, girl.
Yeah, so fun. Oh my God.
You. And thank you so much to the Inner Circle family for being so kind, so open, and welcoming us here today, myself and Emily, and letting us share with you over this hour. Hopefully you've collected a lot of golden nuggets of knowledge in exchange for your energy and your time today. So one last thing I want to leave you off with is, don't forget, if you want more Emily Ford, we have her inside of mastermind.com. You all have access to her. That You Are the Brand course is available to you all, and I definitely encourage you to get in there, check out the templates and the things that Emily has provided and served on behalf of this community for. So we're always working on new ways to bring guest speakers in to surprise and delight you. So stay tuned. We have really exciting things coming. I'm serious. Like, I circled it on my notepad. Look out for your email, like check your email, and just stay in the loop with everything so you don't miss a thing. And such a pleasure to be here with you all. Sending so much love, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Emily.